I have not had the best time with my editing software lately. This video I've attempted to do like 3 times and it just kept deleting itself. I have no idea what was going on. Well, hello and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for the support on my first video as well. Like, I'm so happy with the feedback and I'm excited for everyone to see this build, so let's just get into it. So going for a blue Suburban today, I was really excited about this build because I'd been wanting to build like a family house for a while. I've built a few houses, they are up on my gallery, but they were all done on stream before I started actually recording videos for YouTube. So I was excited to get this one up because everyone loves a family home, you know, but I struggled really bad with this roof and I don't know why. I think maybe that middle part needed to be wider to get the actual look I was looking for, and then on top of it, because this part of the house is only one level, it kind of didn't look right next to the house, next to the upstairs of the house, on just next to it there. I was also going for like this curved kind of roof, but in the end I ended up just putting them back to normal because it just wasn't working. Like, me and my OCD were not getting along very well. Here I'm putting in a little makeshift chimney because I just think they look so good. Like, you still have the little chimney piece to the top of it, but they look so good. It makes the house feel more realistic. I knew I wanted to do a wraparound roof, but the roofing, oh my God, I always get so confused on which pieces go together to fit on the corners and go round, and it's heady. Why did they make roofing in The Sims so hard? It is such, it can get so stressful, and sometimes you don't realise how much time you're actually spending on doing the roofing. It's crazy. One thing I also don't like is when you use this piece, the half, I think it's a half hipped roof or half gabled roof, when you spread it across and there's a wall in the middle, it's lower on one side. That really throws me off. So I was trying to like piece the two of them like in half so they weren't going right across, and I tried it and it was still coming up like different sizes on one side. I don't know why it does that, but anyway, yeah, this is where you'll see me change the roof pieces back to just normal triangle because the curved one just wasn't working for me. I decided to put like 2 little dormers at the back as well, and I really loved how the shell of this house came out. Like, I was proud of it because I don't usually make houses like this. Usually it takes me a lot longer than it did, although when I got to the inside I did end up going on stream and getting everyone to help me finish the interior on stream because I really struggled with the interior. I was going for a standard suburban house, like an old school, dark floors, rustic cabinets, you know, that kind of vibe. But when I got to starting to do the interior, When I started the interior, I don't know what it is, but I really struggle to furnish houses with dark wood. I don't know what it is, but I'm more of like a modern builder, and I was trying to step out my comfort zone to do more of a suburban house, and yeah, my levels proved me wrong because I struggled with this. So yeah, I go for like a light blue paneling. This is all base game as well, except for the fence. The fence is from Cats and Dogs, so if you do download this house, I do use quite a lot of packs in here, but just for the exterior, you can just change the fence if you don't have cats and dogs. But yeah, I wanted some stone accents on there, so I went for this base game stone as well. And this is what makes the roof. Like, even though you're still using a roof piece, having your own makeshift roof is so much better than just plonking the roof piece on the actual roof. I think it just makes the house look so much more realistic, and I absolutely love it. This side piece where you can see the sticky outy bit on the right, I really did want to keep it open and have stairs there so that there was 2 exits to the house, one to the back and then one at the side, because originally I wanted the porch to wrap all the way around, but because the lot was small and I wanted to keep the build exactly how it was, I ended up taking that part away. So obviously you just have your front porch and then you have your back porch, so there was no stairs. And it's a good job because when I got to doing the inside anyway, the stairs would have been in such a random place in the living room that it wouldn't have made sense for them to be at a door to be there anyway. And yeah, I'm just deciding on where I want the windows to be. I used the 9 key, I placed them at the very bottom and pressed the 9 key twice to raise them up a little bit, just so that they were more higher, because they were too kind of into the foundation, which I didn't like. Just used all standard base game doors, base game windows. I used the stairs, foundation, the wallpapers, the roof trims and the roof texture. And this is where I take it in. I was playing around with it for a bit because I initially was going to bring the house in by one and put the stairs there, but I liked the shape of everything. It meant that I would have had to take everything in, and everything was just perfectly in proportion. I didn't want to change it, so I ended up keeping that how it was. But going on to the inside, we're going to be going on the inside soon. The first wood that I put down, I probably should have kept, because I probably it would have been easier. I think, like you'll see in a minute, I put it down and then I changed it to a darker one. And when I was watching this video back, I was like, why did I do that? Like, this one's so nice. And then I changed it to this. Like, why didn't I just leave the other one? I don't know what made me change it, but going on to the floor plan, I had an absolute nightmare with the upstairs, because I was finding that with the stairs being in the place that they was, it was cutting off a lot of the upstairs. Like, I wanted it to be 3 bedrooms, 1 downstairs, 2 upstairs, and of course a bathroom up here. But I couldn't figure out the floor plan without cutting off that 1 bathroom. And I thought to myself, okay, I'll do an ensuite. And then I thought, but then there's not going to be no bathroom upstairs. So then for the 2nd bedroom upstairs, they got to have no bathroom to go to, and they're going to have to go downstairs every time they want to use the bathroom. I thought, no, I'm going to have to change it. So I decided to put the stairs on an L shape in the smallest part, which makes more sense, duh. And then I had more wiggle room to play with the floor plan. So I went for like the bedroom door on an angle, so that the bathroom was still accessible to both rooms, and then a nice size landing. I really am pleased with the floor plan upstairs. I really, really love how it turned out. Now I'm just placing down furniture. This isn't the furniture the final furniture I'm going to use. I'm just kind of putting things where I think they're going to go, so I can figure out the floor plan. Again, don't know why, but I had a nightmare with the downstairs. Not so much with the floor plan of downstairs, but figuring out where I wanted the kitchen to be. I don't know why I struggled so much trying to figure it out. I initially wanted the dining table to be just on the left of the bottom of the screen there, where them big windows are. Obviously I wanted the dining table to sit perfectly in front of there, but then I also wanted a galley kitchen, and because the island chairs sat just on line with where the window begins, it just didn't fit. The table and chairs just wouldn't have fitted there. So again, I had a lot of messing around with this. I ended up putting the kitchen on the literal other side, so it wasn't in front of no window. This is where I started to struggle with furnishing, because again, I wanted to try and go for that old school kitchen look kind of vibes with the rustic counters and whatever, but these are quite modern, to be fair. And so I put those bar stools down, and it kind of set me back. I don't know why. I just felt like the blue wasn't going with the brown. And then I put these tiles down, and I was like, these tiles are too modern, so I changed to these brick ones, which I did really like. But again, the floor was just throwing me off, proper throwing me off. I just was really struggling to furnish it. And then because I wanted the dining room in this under the window, I couldn't figure out what I wanted there instead, because I knew the dining table wasn't going to go there. So I'm just placing down a temporary dining table. I end up, of course, changing it. And then I was thinking maybe to go for like a blue theme, because I thought maybe it needs a bit of colour in it. So I put this down and I was like, oh no, don't like that at all. So I changed it to like a lighter colour for the time being, like a cream colour. And I just wasn't feeling it. I think because I'm so focused on being a modern builder, I struggle to come out of my comfort zone to do other things. So this is where I started to change the floor plan a bit, because I realised that the kitchen was not going to work on that side. So I ended up changing the kitchen onto that wall. I even attempted to put the kitchen on this wall, I don't know what I was thinking, because looking back at this, it's actually embarrassing. But, you know, you've got to try to see. But it definitely was never going to work on this side. And then I was thinking, like, all that side of the kitchen on the right hand side would have just been a waste of space. I still wouldn't have been able to put the dining table there, so I don't know why I even attempted that. I thought maybe, okay, let me put more modern bar stools in and see if that helps. And then I just thought, like, what am I actually going to do with this corner? Like, I thought about putting these down, and then what would I have filled it with? Just like plants, and it was just, again, I'm not utilizing the space in the best way that I could have. So in the end, I ended up putting the kitchen on that side where the dining table was, and putting a little bar in that area under the windows, which I thought looked really nice. I like the idea of putting these walls as different levels by the stairs, but I ended up placing like a bookcase there, bookshelf, and then some chairs in front of it. So the whole different level walls definitely wasn't working, and I'm messing around with stairs because, of course, I wanted them to match the floor because I've got bad OCD and it was messing with my head and being all different browns. But in the end, to solve that issue, I ended up lightening the floor. So I made the floor like a much lighter wood, which in my opinion looked so much better. And yeah, it was a I went through a roller coaster of emotions building this house, because I knew what I wanted, but it was so hard to execute it. Like, I just don't know why I struggled so much to execute it, but I did. But in the end, I got it done, and I'm happy with how it all turned out in the end. So hard again. The bookcases in The Sims are not the best. They all look very library-like, and like they don't look like they'd be in a house. So I end up changing the wall back to just one wall. I put this bookshelf down. I can't remember what kit it's from, and then I ended up lightening the floor. But I really loved the colour of the bookcase so much that I ended up changing the walls in the living room to that colour, and the hall upstairs, because obviously with the stairs being open to the downstairs, the wallpapers needed to match. And then I made the wall that the TV's on like a feature wall of like wood paneling, which I really like. So then I tried to go back to the kitchen because I changed the floor to see if any new inspiration came about. So I kind of just changed the colour of the cabinets, and then I was looking at it, was like, oh, it's too matchy. I don't like how it looks. And I thought to myself, okay, I'm gonna go away from the kitchen again and come back. And then I realised, oh wait, I've modernised the house. I'm no longer building an old school suburban house. I kind of imagined that like this house was passed down from like a grandma to her grandkids, and no, sorry, the grandma to her daughter or his son or whoever it is, and they've renovated the whole house into like a more modern kind of house. So this is where you'll see me change the floor again. I ended up changing the floor to a herringbone. Love a herringbone floor. And it's like still giving that old school suburban, but it's still modern. I absolutely love it. I think the herringbone was the touch it needed. And so I go back and I decide to modernise the kitchen now, because obviously I'm changing the house interior to be more modern. So I thought, if I put modern furniture in, it'll help me figure it out. But then I just realised that, yeah, it's the kitchen being on this side for me. I like the idea of the kitchen being on this side because the door's there, so you know, you'd have like a nice sliding door outside into your back garden, but it just wasn't making any sense. So in the end, I ended up flipping the kitchen over to the other side, and I cut that footage out because it was a lot of going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. But because I was so stressed, I decided to come away from it and started working on the primary bedroom. So this is the bedroom downstairs, and I seen someone do this the other day, and I was like, oh my god, this is genius. 2 console tables at the back of the bed, like a headboard kind of side table kind of vibe going on. Oh, loved how it turned out. This bedroom is my favourite room in the whole house. Love that paneling as well. I put some big wardrobes in there. I put a nice chest of drawers in front of the window, open with glass top on. Oh, I just think, honestly, it looked so nice. I like the mix match pictures that I put behind the bed as well. Absolutely adore this bookcase. Can't remember if it's base game or not. I think it might be, but I absolutely love that bookcase. And then I just decided to put like a computer in the kitchen and like a little, in the bedroom, and a little chair. Maybe they work from home and they just want some peace and quiet. Maybe the kids are on the computer or they're on the game on the telly, so they come to their room to work. I just thought the room was just a proper cute little safe space, if you like. And now I'm literally just figuring out what furniture I want, just placing everything down in the living room. I love this marble table, by the way. I think that's from the Casanova kit, actually. I think this is all from the Casanova kit, is it? Or is maybe not the couches? I can't remember what kit the couches are from. But yeah, I just decided to put like a little reading nook. I did want a fireplace in here, but I didn't want to put a wall in and then put the fireplace on. I wanted the living room to stay open plan, like the whole thing to be open. I didn't want to put any other walls except for the ones by the stairs. So I kept that like that. I think it looks really nice. I decided to change the bookcase to the black because it was too matching with the wall. And to do this, you alt place, so you literally place it down and then move the console table and alt place it. Because you've already placed it, it'll stay on the height, and then you can kind of move it to fit properly. I didn't want it to be too perfect on the grid. And don't forget your burglar's alarm, because the burglars are in full effect in The Sims 4 now. And I just went for standard bathtub shower combo in the bathroom. Absolutely love the matching tiles and floor tiles from what this is the bathroom clutter kit, I think. Amazing that we actually got wallpaper in the kit, like so good, like matching as well, matching tiles to wallpaper. We need more of that in The Sims. Please give us more of that in The Sims. And the good old Snowy Escape rug, it's perfect for a bathroom rug, that Snowy Escape rug. Use that in like every single bathroom I make in The Sims. Love them sconce lights as well. And this is where I finally decided I wanted to put the kitchen on the other side. So I'm just fixing up the walls in the bedroom. I was actually on stream while I was doing this and got everyone to help me on stream because I was so stressed with it, I couldn't think of it. So yeah, now I think the kitchen looks so much better on this side. You know, it just fits so much better. And then I put the dining table on the opposite side, and then I was able to kind of utilize the space with some shelves. I put a bar in. I brought the feature wall from the living room in. I just think it really closes in the space so much better. And I'm happy that I decided to do that, because the kitchen on that side just wasn't working. And it's funny because the space is quite the same. So I don't really know what it was that was I think I wanted the dining table to be like near the door. I either wanted it in front of the window or near the door, and so my only option was to literally put it this way around. I love these chairs. These are base game chairs, but they are so nice. Probably one of my favorite dining table chairs in the game, and the glass tables are my favorite tables in the game also. I was keeping the blue theme, and then I wanted to add laundry into this house, although I did forget to put a laundry basket in the build. Completely forgot to put a laundry basket in the build, so you'd have to put a laundry basket there in order for the laundry to actually work. But that made that space so much better to work with, because I was confused what I was going to do with that little corner of the kitchen as you first walk in, but perfect. Doing a bit more alt placing to make it look more realistic and lived in. I was like faffing about with the little like kitchen, the soap caddy, because I wanted it to fit, you know, on like the grid of the sink there. So it was a bit tedious, but I was like, you know what, that'll do, fits perfect. Little cookie jar. And then absolutely love these from the new kitchen clutter kit. Because you can change what's in it like that. I think that's like rice. The cream one is like rice, and then you've got like all different ones. Absolutely love them. I probably do this in every single one of my builds. I put the aprons up on the wall, and then I use the dustpan and brush as well next to the bin. It just makes it more realistic. Like you have your brush and your shovel hanging up, and your aprons and whatnot. But so I decided to put like a little ottoman and just a mirror and a plant in this area, and I think I ended up putting a lamp as well. That's just kind of the corridor area from the bathroom and the bedroom. because it's just like just an empty corridor, and I just thought, yeah, why not put a little ottoman in there? I mean, you're not really going to sit outside the bathroom listening to people on the toilet or in the bath or whatever, but I just thought fill up the space nicely. And then here I wanted to do like a floating shelf cabinet kind of vibes. I wanted it initially to go right around the TV, but it just wasn't making sense, so I decided to just leave it at the bottom. And I actually like how that turned out. I like the fact that I added black into the living room, because it was looking quite monotone before, and although black isn't necessarily a bright colour, it was just giving it that warmth. Moving on to upstairs, I actually had a lot of fun doing the upstairs in the hallway. I usually struggle with hallways, but I had a lot of fun. My favourite runner from the fitness stuff pack as well. Absolutely love that runner. I like the texture of it. It's given like a fluffy one. And I decided to put these lights in. These are from the business and hobbies expansion pack. Absolutely love them, and they ignite so much light from them as well. Absolutely love them. Love that shelf as well. And then in this area I just did like a little console table and a lamp. Literally kept it simple. I put a chess table down, a little couch on the landing hallway, put some pampas grass down, and then initially I had this with a fishbowl, because a lot of people in the chat on Twitch were saying put a fish tank there, but I didn't want to cover the window, so I put like a fish bowl there. And then everyone in chat was like, actually, why don't you remove it and just leave the pampas grass? And I was like, let's go back and forth. And I was like, actually, it doesn't look too bad. It's like, because there's a lot going on when you turn round the corner, it makes sense for that bit under the window to just be plain. In this bedroom, I kind of had the vibe of a teenage gamer. At first, I was going to make the room really dark, but I thought, you know what, he can still be a gamer and keep it, because I was thinking of more like he was kind of like gothic. They like dark colours and stuff like that, but I wanted to keep the house nice and light and bright, so I decided to keep the desk and the computer dark, but I lightened up the rest of the thing. So at first I put like black shutter blinds on them windows and put the ones in white at the bed, but then I thought, what's the point? I may as well just put them all white. Like, it can still be like, the area is still dark, but you know, just the furniture, I just kept it light in terms of like the bed and the wardrobe drawers and stuff like that. So this is where you'll see me putting the dark ones in, and then I put them white behind the bed, and then I was like, this doesn't look right, and then I just changed them all to white. Wanted to, again, got the blue theme going on, so I put some nice blue wallpaper. I think that looked really nice, again, just base game. And I popped a few shelves on the wall, bit of teenage clutter. I imagined like in his younger days he did a lot of like running and basketball and athlete, so I put like a few trophies down and stuff like that. And then obviously as he's got older and he's gone into his teen ages, you know, we all love to game when we hit that teenage phase. Kind of kept it like, you know, ball themed, if you like, athletic themed, so I gave him like the football lamp and posters on his walls, and I put some posters behind the desk. Yeah, you can just see me doing it. I tried putting the corkboard up as well, but it's a shame that the corkboard, I think you can do postcards. I think, what pack is that from? Is that from the Seasons pack, I think the postcards is? I've never actually used that corkboard though. I do want to use it to see what kind of, like, how it works, because I've never actually used it, but it'd be good. I know you can like remove the walls and put them, but it's too much messing around. So yeah, we put some tissue box down, a few plants. I decided to change them trophies. Just went with the blue rug again, more shelves at the side. Just put a few clothes, and I think I put some clothes piles on the floor. You know, typical teenager, you get dressed and you just leave your clothes on the floor. I'm moving on to the little girl's bedroom now, which of course you could just change this to a boy's bedroom depending on what your gameplay is. I think I stuck with eco lifestyle for the furniture. I know the bed and the dresser is eco lifestyle. The wardrobe is base game. I think that mirror is from Parenthood, I think. And I was just kind of going for like a pink lilac, you know, the girly colours you love when you're a little girl. Love that dollhouse as well. That was a base game dollhouse. Absolutely loved that. I think I actually sized it down by 1 because the dollhouse is humongous. And I also put this drawing table because it's really good for kids' skills. And yeah, I was kind of thinking to go with like the bubble wallpaper, but it wasn't kind of matching, so I just went for like pink on one side, purple on one side, so the pink side's where the bed is, the purple's where the wardrobe is. Absolutely love that painting as well. It's probably one of my favourite paintings. And love the cloud decals, absolutely love them, so cute. And that's basically it for the little girl's bedroom. I didn't want to over clutter it because it was such a small room. I didn't want to do too much in there. I decided to put some lights on the wall, kept it simple. Okay, that one's from Parenthood, I think. Yeah, I think that mirror's from Parenthood. I changed them to pink. I also put them over the window as well. And I think literally that was all I did for the little girl's bedroom. Yeah, literally I think that was it. And now I'm just moving on to the backyard. I wanted to put a little pool in there, thought it'd be quite fun, and I used a barbecue, just sectioned some bits out for some flower gardens. I put a tree in the middle of that actually. I thought that was fun. Used a lot of debug for the plants. Absolutely love the low-lying bushes from Island Living. The green in them is just so lush. Absolutely love it. A lot of these you can use in build mode, but I was trying my best to keep the price down because the house was quite expensive. I think it ended up being like over 100 similar ones. So I tried my best to just use as much debug plants as possible because the landscaping gets really expensive, like super expensive. And then I love sizing up the rocks to fill in gaps. Like it just, rocks completes it, and then obviously when you put your terrain paint, it just closes everything in and makes everything look so realistic. I love what I did with the flowers there. I mixed 2 different combination of flowers in the middle, surrounding the tree. Thought that was really nice. Kind of like overgrown grass, because obviously the rest of it's been paved. It's almost like the bit with the tree is just overgrown because you kind of can't get your lawnmower there, kind of thing. Loved how that looked. And I put some lights in the pool, put some garden lights. I love the rose lights, so I went to these lights. They're like my favourite garden lights ever, and I like the light that it emits as well. Also put some spotlights around the pool if you wanted to go for a dip in the night. Also did that. I don't think I put any actual lights on the house on the outside, but there's enough light in there. And now I also love this little umbrella and chairs. The umbrella, the square umbrella with the glass table, absolutely love it. Went for like, you know, the is it Spa Day? Oh no, the patio stuff pack for the bar outside. And then I just put like a bench here. I didn't want to over clutter it. So I just added some plant pots on the outside. I added like 2 little swing chairs from, I think they're from the high school years, on the front porch. I've just added the terrain paint. That really brings the house together. When you put the terrain paint on, it just makes everything so realistic. Like, oh, especially down the sides of the path as well. Like, I love it. Yeah, I use these chairs. I love them. Put the little number plate on, some little plant pots if you want to do some gardening, and literally that is the build complete. So when you walk inside, you've got the living room area. That's probably where the kids will play. And then I did put a games console in. This is the little reading nook. I just kept it clean, didn't want to over clutter it. And then obviously you walk into the kitchen. I put lights underneath the counters. I used them bottles from Debug also. Kept it quite clean, didn't want to over clutter it. Again, if you download the house, you can clutter it up more, or when you move your Sims in, you'll find things to put there, I'm sure. Little bin, that's the pool area that you literally just see me do. And then obviously you come through here, going into the bathroom. Love how, again, it's just clean, nice. I'm glad I decided to go for the more modern outlook on the house. And then going in, here's the bedroom. Oh, my favourite room in the house. Love how this turned out. Literally, like, I love this bedroom, the size of it as well, it's massive. And then Going upstairs, you've got the pampas grass, you've got nice clean look out at the window. I also did the skylight in the roof. I didn't show that in it because it was so much messing. And then in here you've got the little girls' room that you just see me do not long ago. Just kept it all clean, very nice. Then you've got your logic skill up here, and then in here is the teens room, the clothes on the floor, the basketballs on the shelves, trophies, the games corner, and then lastly the bathroom. I did notice that the paneling, I didn't realise that I'd left the paneling. So that is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I really enjoyed building this house, and let me know in the comments what you do want to see next. I have been working on a big massive house, also modern of course, so that's probably going to be my next video. But definitely leave your comments down below on what I should do next. If there's any build challenges you think I should hop on, I'd much appreciate it. And thank you again so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.